Hi guys, I'm Mitchell Dale. This is Martin Lenihan from Rugby League Week TV. Time for Good Week, Bad Week from round 24. Now, we'll kick things off, Leno, with Good Week at number 3, Ben Barber. Number 3, 3 tries.
3 tries.
A little bit too early to say he's back to his dazzling best, but it's a very good sign.
Absolutely. Look, I think as he says in Rugby League Week this week, Ben, he's taken a while to settle in. It's a hard system to get used to up there, very high expectations. Obviously, he feels pretty settled off the field now. He's had the positional move as well. If you're going to come good, this is a time of year to do it. I think, unfortunately for Ben, the Broncos aren't going to quite sneak into the finals, so we won't see him there.
No, but I guess it lays a good platform for him for next year, if that is the case. Number 2, the Roosters. Good week for them this week with a thumping win over the Warriors, but you reckon they're in for a couple of better weeks.
Yeah, they might be featuring a couple more times with us. I reckon they can win their last 2 games. They've got the Storm, they've got South, massive games to take you into the finals. If they do that, I reckon they can finish on top. Great for and against, and they are starting to look very ominous as they did last Sunday.
Look, I don't think anybody would have picked them to be the minor premiers at any stage this year. They haven't looked like the best side in the comp, but on paper, they have such a good roster and they're just peaking at the right time, you would think. Now, number 1 for Good Week this week. What a week for Jonathan Thurston and the Cowboys. Huge win over the Rabbitohs, and geez, they needed that one.
Yeah, look, I think they've started to learn to win away from home. We all kind of got caught up in the hype, I guess, of South Sydney. I think Thurston and his team stayed in Sydney after the Monday night game, had a perfect preparation. They just blew South off the park. They've given everyone the blueprint of how to beat them. Robert Louis, been a bit maligned over the years at different times. He and Thurston just working beautifully together, and they are very dangerous coming into the finals.
Yeah, look, I mean, you want your big players playing well, and there are no bigger players than Matt Scott and Jonathan Thurston. They were just enormous against the Rabbitohs. Scott took them on, took probably what people believe is the best forward pack in the comp, took them on up the middle, and he came out on top. And then Thurston gave Adam Reynolds and Luke Keary a bit of a lesson. So number 1 for Good Week this week, North Queensland Cowboys. Okay, that was the good. For all the good, there has to be a bad. At number 3 for Bad Week this week, it's the Warriors.
Terrible, mate. Shocking week, playing at home, everything to play for, finals just that far away. Been a lot of raps for them since McFadden took over. This was back to the bad old days last Sunday. Just a very poor performance, run all over by the Roosters, who are looking dangerous. But what do you say about the Warriors? They got that close to the finals and it all just fell in a heap last Sunday.
Yeah, look, as you said, everything to play for. Playing at home, where I think they'd won 12 of their past 14 at Mount Smart. And, geez, yeah, you mentioned the bad old days. They go up and down so much, and that still is the problem for Andrew McFadden. Number 2 this week for Bad Week, the Manly Sea Eagles. Look, they are a finals specialist side, so maybe you can't read too much into what's happened the past 3 weeks, but 2 losses out of their last 3, and they snuck home against the Titans. What do you make of them?
Oh, well, a few bookies paid out a few weeks ago on them coming first, which was remarkable. I think might have got a little bit ahead of themselves. I think, look, South Sydney really showed them up, and as you said, it's been a bad 3 weeks. They are a finals specials team, so let's not get too worried just yet. But it was a very bad week for Manly, and they've got some tough games to finish up as well. So a few little things we need to sort out there if they're going to have something to say in September. Yeah,
that's right. Penrith this week, North Queensland next up there in Townsville to finish it off. So no easy thing for Manly. And number 1 this week, it's got to be, well, it's the Sharks, it's Shane Flanagan, it's anyone who loves the black, white and blue, really, because it has just been a horrible week, starting off with Asada, and then they get their first wooden spoon since 1969.
Yeah, look, it was very tough for them out there on Sunday. I'm not even sure how they managed to field a side in the end. The Raiders weren't a whole lot better. Two pretty ordinary sides, it's got to be said. But yes, we had the suspensions, Paul Gallen amongst others taking the deal, so getting basically a month off, but left them very short-handed. Shane Flanagan, well, he's just been copping it mercilessly from everyone in the game, including the great Wayne Bennett, about his poor judgment, I guess, and letting those guys down on the supplements program. So, yeah, pretty much anyone out there in Cronulla, anyone who follows the team, very, very tough times.
Yeah, interesting one there for Shane Flanagan. Dave Smith has sort of suggested that if there are more sanctions, then so be it. So perhaps the nightmare isn't over for Flanagan. Thankfully for the Sharks, the nightmare's over in a couple of weeks, because if you look at you could probably make a side out of the players they can't play at the moment and would beat the side that they're running out there. That's just the reality of it for Cronulla.
It's a horrible situation for them. They need the season to end. They need those players to come back. Shane Flanagan will be back, possibly. Maybe. As you said, Dave Smith He made it very clear they don't feel like there's any more sanctions to come for these players, and the blame is all falling at the feet of the people who were in charge when they had those supplements.
Yeah, that's right. A very bad week for the Cronulla Sharks.